Hey there, I am here with Ruby's daughter 1977, also known as Melissa, and we are going to chat with you about Melissa's shop. So, Melissa, tell us a little bit about you and Ruby's daughter.
I'm a fashion designer by trade, and I have been working in underwear for almost 20 years now. So I kind of like doing other things than men's underwear. So I've always just created things on my own and all, just design things for people or, here and there, just doing things. And eventually I was like, okay, I want to just start selling this stuff because I was giving it away. And people are like, no, I want to pay you. So my only way to really figure out how to sell something to somebody was to set up an Etsy shop, because otherwise I would just be giving it away. And this way I can set my prices and I don't get a feeling of panic. It's stress-free. And yeah, otherwise
So how did you get started? You said you're a fashion designer by trade. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've always just, sewing machine. I think old. I asked for my first one, and I've always just liked making things and clothing. And I think I was in grade 5 taking orders from my friends for backpacks because I made a really nice knapsack.
That's awesome, though. Hey, it's that entrepreneur spirit. I love it.
Yeah.
So you went to school? Did you go to school in Nova Scotia or New Brunswick?
No, I went to school in Toronto.
Okay.
I went to Seneca College.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And how long have you had your shop?
I've had my shop since 2016. I joined during the Etsy resolution. Basically, they were advertising everywhere that they would help people start shops on Etsy, and they totally backed that up. They gave us the whole how-to steps, and it was phenomenal how they set that up. It was a really good program.
That's really, really cool. I never heard of that program. So that's really, really cool to hear.
Yeah, I still have the paperwork all printed off, and sure, some of the SEO things have changed. Some of the things have changed, but I give that to everyone who wants to start up an Etsy shop just to get them started on it. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a really great success story.
And the even better part is there's still a Facebook group. They changed it over to Canadian Etsy support. So basically all those people that started in the Etsy resolution group kept the group going, and we still comment once a week where we're at, what we're doing, what our goals are. So it's been 4 years and we're still a Facebook group of I forget how many's on there. It's thousands of people on there.
That's really, really neat. I love that. Yeah. And not only do you have your shop, you've been crazy during COVID with your day job. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do? Because I think this is really cool because you're one of the first people that I knew answered that call.
So I work for a Canadian clothing manufacturer. We mostly make underwear, or that's what we're known for. And after COVID kind of hit Nova Scotia, we were one of the first manufacturers to shut down because we have over 200 employees and we all kind of work close together. So the owner was pretty proactive in that and basically said, okay, everyone, we're just going to, before they mandate it, we're closing down. We don't want to be a problem here. So as soon as that happened, we just kind of geared up and said, how can we help in this situation? And so we got together with a local fabric maker. I guess they make Tyvek for houses. That's what they usually do. So we talked to them and we developed a different material so that we could make medical gowns out of it. And it was a stretch to try and get those garments made in the beginning. And then we got one of the biggest federal contracts. And so now we've hired an additional 250 employees, and it's just been a real success story. And even just revamping the entire company that's been around, I think it's 170 years old now. It's just a different feeling in the building with all the young people and just the energy that's there because everyone knows it's a good cause what we're doing. So yeah.
That's incredible. So you're an essential worker and coming home and doing your shop and you've been very successful on it.
Yeah.
Tell us about some a cool customer experience.
Okay, so the first my first sale on Etsy, I was really nervous. I thought, okay, so it's just going to be friends who like buy from me. And my very first customer was someone in Ireland, and it was for a jacket. And it was so random that the person was from like the same town that my grandmother's from. And it was just like very cool. And then I had to figure out how I'm going to send this to Ireland, because I had never sent a parcel, you know, to Europe before. So that was a learning curve too. So yeah, my first customer was my best experience, because it was just kind of like so that someone would support you, not just friends and family. Yeah.
That is really, really neat. So my next question was going to be like, where is the furthest place you've ever shipped? But Ireland's pretty far. Anywhere, any other cool spots?
There was one place in Africa somewhere, and it was like, yeah, the address, I can't even remember what it was, but I was like, I don't know what country this is. And I actually Googled it, and I don't even know if there was infrastructure, but it did take like 3 months to get there. And the customer was like, listen, I know that this is going to take forever, so don't worry. And, you know, like, because I was in a panic thinking, how am I going to get this to them? And I was following the tracking. And yeah, so I think somewhere in Africa would be the most remote location.
I think that's the furthest I've heard anybody ship.
Yeah, I've had customers in Japan and all over Europe, and yeah.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about your creative process.
Basically, I'm a textiles person. I've always just loved fabrics. So as soon as I see a fabric, I just pick it up and I'm like, oh, that would make a really nice something. And then I just go for it. Yeah. So I just use the textiles to kind of tell me what should be made out of it.
So does being from Nova Scotia inspire your work at all?
You know what? I love Nova Scotia just because, you know, within 5 minutes I can be outside in a park somewhere, or like, you know, no matter where you're at in the East Coast, even if you're in an urban area, you're 10 minutes from the outdoors and, you know, getting away. So I guess it inspires me to like relax a little bit and, you know, kind of take it easy. Yeah, I love the East Coast.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Do you have any makers that inspire you? Any other fashion designers?
Oh my God, there's so many makers, like, wow. And not so much in fashion, but I love jewelry. And there's so many that, like, most of my purchases on Etsy have been jewelry. And there's a girl in Halifax, Adelie. Adelie is the name of her shop, and I just love everything she does. She was like the first person to ever show pictures with like busy backgrounds that I was like, wow, that actually looks really good, because everyone does the white background or gray background. Yeah, she's just got an awesome shop going. And yeah, there's just so many people on Etsy. You for one, like, just seeing your photography, it just, it's really nice. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for saying that. That is encouraging as a maker to hear someone say that.
Yeah.
Because when you're saying about the busy photography, I worry about that, because I admire the people that can get that crisp white background.
Yeah. No, I guess, you know, whatever works for different products, but yeah.
That's awesome. So, tell us your favorite thing about being a maker.
About being a maker?
Yeah.
I guess I've always been a maker. So yeah, I wouldn't know anything else, whether it was jewelry making or knitting or sewing. I've always just been a crafty maker. Now it's baking, I guess, for COVID.
Yeah.
The whole family has taken up cooking and baking.
That's, oh, yeah, I hear you. Mine is, yeah.
But
so why is it so important, especially you being in your day job and here, that we support like local makers, local industry? Why is that so important?
I think that craft in general, like just that word, is something that can get lost in like mass production. And I really think you have to support the people that are, you know, the people that inspire mass production. Most makers are creative people, and they come up with the idea. And, you know, there's always going to be that mass producer that takes that creative idea. Basically, makers are the creative hub for all the other stuff that gets made. So it's got to start somewhere, and that's why I think you should always support small businesses and small makers and creative people.
That's a really great point, that it does start with the little guy.
Yeah.
That I've never thought of it that way, but I love that answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us something, an interesting fact, something really cool about you.
That's a hard question. There's not too many cool things about me. I've always been like a perplexing person when people meet me, because they're like, oh, really? That's who you are? Because I studied fashion design, but I'm actually a really good athlete, or I used to be. I've had like 4 knee surgeries, so not as good as I once was, but I played soccer at a national level, and I've coached university sports, and so I'm a very athletic, creative person.
That's really, really cool. And that's kind of hard to come by too. You don't see both, like that balance very much. It's one or the other. And that's impressive. That's a very interesting fact. So where can we find you on social media? We're going to link them in this video, but just tell us what your social media handles are.
I'm just at Ruby's Daughter in 1977 on both Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. Great. Well, we will check you out in your shop, and thanks for hanging out.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thanks.